Hello everybody. Here's another in the series of Macromedia Fireworks 8 tutorials I've been making. And this one's going to focus on making animated GIFs, everybody's favorite internet graphic. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people do like them. And this will allow you to make some basic ones. Unless you're really crazy good at graphic design, you can make some pretty awesome stuff in here. I, however, am not. I will show you the basics of how to make one. So I'm going to go ahead and go File, New, and make a new canvas. Always make sure you have a transparent background. And make sure it's no bigger than you need it. We can shrink it later. But you don't want to go too big with this because a lot of times the background is going to get white just because you save it as a GIF and not a PNG. And only a PNG supports the transparent background. So it's a little rough, but if you have a straight color background, you can make it work. So let's go ahead and set this up. Okay, we work with frames in here, just like with the rollovers. We need to work with frames. The beauty is there's no code. Once we save this as an animated GIF, it does its own thing inside of itself. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to make a couple different frames. And this is one way of doing it, just drawing each frame. And then you can do something simple. Right, draw a square. I'll go to frame 2. And we'll draw a slightly smaller one. I don't know how close I'm getting there. And then this frame, a little smaller. And then frame 4, even smaller yet. And then you can simply press play, and there's what it looks like. And then you can do a file save as, and that will loop for you. And that's your GIF. That's one way to do it. Just to show you, I can go to File, Save As, and there's 2 GIF types, but you want to choose the animated GIF type. Alright, so then that's one way. The other way, and it has a little more power and you can make things a lot quicker, uses the tweening method, which is pretty awesome. So let me show you how this works. I'm just going to create a simple graphic here. And we'll make it a circle. I guess it's a square because I didn't change the setting. Alright, so we'll make it a square. And I want to make it green. Okay, what I want to do is right click and convert this to a symbol. This is the key. You have to use symbols for this. Then in your assets panel, it'll show up in the library. So you just want to pull another instance of this. And then you can do what you want with it. I'm going to shrink it a little bit and spin it. And sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't, but I'm going to adjust the color. And then basically what you do is then you select them. You go from one to the one you want to move to. And then you go up to Modify, Symbol, and Tween Instances. Here you can choose the amount of steps. The more steps, the smoother the motion will look. The more frames it will take. The longer it will take to do it. And then by distributing it to frames, it will make your animation pretty much ready to go. If you don't distribute, all of your images will end up on just your first frame. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to click OK. And then you can see how things slightly change here. So I'm going to go ahead and press play. And there we go. And that's how tweening works for making an animated GIF. Now there are a multitude of options you can do with this. This is by no means the only way. So feel free to play around with this and go big or go home, as they say. The other thing to do is make sure you try and match up the background of the canvas here with that of your web page. That way it meshes a little better. All right, thank you for watching and enjoy.